boring ready, Megan. Hi, hello, welcome. So glad to have you here today. I'm Lynn from L&J Goods. Okay, we're doing a major Christmas countdown now, aren't we? How many more days till Christmas?
I don't know.
Megan doesn't know. You don't care.
That's not true. I care so much that I don't want to talk about it.
You don't. Yeah, I hear you. I think it's like 9 days. So we're done crafting for the house. We're done doing all of that stuff. Let's think about some gift decor or just some holiday decor ideas and maybe some things for gift giving, because that's one thing that we always wait until the very last minute to do. Maybe not all of us, but certainly many of us do. And so today we're going to share some trays, thrifted trays, and I'm going to make them over. We're going to keep it super easy and simple just so we can chat and just step it back to just a few basics. But we're going to be using the gilded transfer called Etiquettes on a tray. We're going to use the Yuletide transfer from the IOD winter release. And we're going to use a decoupage paper, and I'm going to do maybe some pouring resin over it and try that whole situation again. So,
which pouring resin?
I'm going to actually use the pouring glaze from Pentart. So thanks for hanging out. We are located in Medina, New York. If you can't visit us here in our little Main Street shop, we would love to have you visit us online or any of our social media platforms. We stream live twice a week to Facebook and YouTube. You can always catch a replay over on our website as well at lnjgoods.com. So let's switch the camera down and we're going to get started. Here we go. All right, let me just adjust my camera a little bit so we can see what we're doing. I always take you on such a ride. But here we go. I'm going to show you the 3 trays and then we'll get started prepping them. So this is one of those little souvenir trays. They have like the states on them and stuff like that. So that's what this is. I have already applied a coat of bonding primer, our Pentart bonding primer, to the metal after I cleaned it and so forth. And then I applied my first coat of Fusion's cast iron paint. So this is going to need a second coat, and we'll do that while we just chat, see what everybody's up to on a Monday. This is one of those vintage tollware trays, and this one was in pretty rough shape, but I don't know if you can see this. I loved like the paint loss there that is still on it. I think that is really cool. It might not be for everybody, but I love that. And again, I cleaned it, and we also gave it a coat of bonding primer. And today I'm going to be using this decoupage paper by Decoupage Queen. It's called Christmas Toile. It is literally like almost a perfect fit.
I love that paper.
And the reason I wanted to leave this, I don't know which inspired which, but that kind of reveal of the paint color, that brownish red color that's underneath this black, it kind of referred back to this color here. And I just thought it was perfect. Just a perfect little match. So we're going to do a quick and easy decoupage project with this. And my last tray, isn't it pretty with that pretty pie crust edge? This is actually one of those tier tables. The pie crust tiered tables, and the legs get all wonky and stuff. So don't throw away the spindles. Don't do that. But JR took this apart, and I think our picker friend Patty took this apart, and so I grabbed this up because it just makes a really nice tray. If you put like some nice felt on the bottom, it would be beautiful. And so what I did here, we sprayed this with a couple coats of shellac. Since this is mahogany, All right. And then I'm going to go over it with a dark color anyway, because it's mahogany and you know what? Nobody's got time for anything bleeding through just in case. So I'm going to give this another coat of that mahogany. I'm just leaving that pie crust edge the way it is, all distressed, because again, nobody's got time to be painting all that little detail and so forth. So we're going to leave it just like it is and have it be a little bit of a rustic vibe. So on this tray, I'll be using the gilded transfer, and we will lay that out. And what I like about that is that it's something that can be used all year round. It does not just have to be for Christmas. So I like that. And then this little souvenir tray that had the state of Tennessee on it, as I recall. We're gonna do a Yuletide transfer on that, just with a pretty winter wreath and a cardinal. So again, it can be wintry. It doesn't have to be just for Christmas. But what a pretty little extra something for a neighbor gift or a school teacher to, you know, put cookies on it or candies or whatever you like to throw on your trays. A ham, a Christmas ham, right? Oh my goodness. And then this guy, we're going to give this one a second coat of paint as well.
I love that cast iron color.
Cast iron it's truly my best black. It really is. I love it.
And the fusion paint is nice to use in the circumstances because
it has a built-in top coat, so it makes it really quick and easy to use transfers. So, of course, I'm going to want to make sure that my paint is completely dry, which means I'm going to get out my little heat gun and I'm going to dry this really well. And then these will be the last pieces where I apply the transfers, because I really want these to dry completely. And then we're going to go ahead and move over to that other piece. So I'll get my brush in some water. How is everybody today? Do we have some folks watching?
Yeah, lots of friends are here.
You might want to tell them all about Vasilis and our special live tomorrow.
Well, first, since Jackie just asked if you meant the bonding primer by Pentart, yes, she does. And you can find everything Mom is using today in the supply list that I made for today, which you can find a link to that supply list in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, or up above if you're watching on Facebook, or on lnjgoods.com under the category featured on our live tutorials. You just look for the title of today's live and the date under that headline, and you'll find the supply list for today with a link to that berry bonding primer that you spoke of, Jackie. Jackie asked, should I use the bonding primer under Fusion on a metal garden seat?
You could use, yes, I would use either the bonding primer or Ultra Grip. Ultra Grip is the Fusion brand. You could use that. It comes in, you know, some larger sizes. So if you're doing furniture pieces, some larger pieces, that might be a nicer option for you. But the way that I prepped these, again, I cleaned them. I did a light sanding on them just to scuff them up. On these metal pieces here, and you can see that I have applied, actually this is 2 coats of bonding primer. I'm thinking I don't know, I'm going to decoupage over it, so I don't know if I'm going to do another layer. I probably should, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, let's do another layer of paint on this. And I'm gonna keep that directed there. Okay, so when I'm decoupaging, of course, I want a nice light background. We know that.
Naturally.
And since I had a dark color underneath here, it's going to take me a few coats to get nice coverage. I don't want a lot of streakiness under that decoupage paper because then it just won't be pretty. It won't be pretty.
No.
Oh, so you guys, happy, exciting news. Well, we got a few things to share. First of all, I just dropped a video with some cottage stuff, some behind the scenes, and 4 really cool DIY projects that I did for the cottage. So you might want to jump over to YouTube and see that, or maybe Megan can find it in the link.
Yes, I'm sure I can. Just trying to get the mirror messed up right now since I know you're going to mention.
Yep. And then, so that is there for your enjoyment and inspiration. I really do love doing those videos. They're so fun. But yeah, if you don't already, we'd love it if you'd subscribe over on YouTube. We have so many different ways to watch us there. Not only are there shorts, but there are lives. Like now we stream live right to YouTube. And we also have our edited videos. So if you're watching, depends on what device you're watching on, but you can always open up those tabs and find our playlists and our edited videos, which are just called videos, and our live content. And people like different ways to watch, so that's kind of cool. We really love having you guys here live with us. It's always fun.
Yes, we love
it. Okay, so I've got, that looks like a pretty decent coverage there for my decoupage paper. And I'll pop this brush away.
Jenny said she already watched the recent video and she loved it.
Oh,
Thank
did
you,
you, Jenny? The one that I just loaded today? That's cool. Thank you. This little souvenir tray, I chose this because look at that pretty little detail of paint that's on there. I just think that's so pretty, and I did not want to cover that up. So we're going to leave it just the way it is. I might even add a little Pentar decor pen, add some little dots there to make it even more festive. And speaking of Pentar, so you know tomorrow is Tim Holtz Tuesday. Well, tomorrow is actually Vasilis Kantos Tuesday.
The Pentar Tuesday.
and we are actually going to be hosting our sweet friend Vasilis Kantos from Greece. He is just an amazing instructor and artist with Pentart International. And Vasilis has agreed to come live with me tomorrow. It'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I know some of you will be working, but you can always watch the replay. And he's going to be on screen with me from Greece to share a couple of projects. We're hoping a couple of projects using Pentart's Mirror Mist and the patina effects. And he's going to show us some really interesting techniques. So I am so excited about that. I had the opportunity to learn from Vasilis when I went to the Decoupage Queen retailers retreat in the fall. Was it in the fall? Yeah. Wait, summer, fall? I don't even remember.
I feel like it was September, maybe.
September. Yes, you're right. It was September. Good Lord, Megan, I cannot remember. Spent the 2 days creating with Vasilis. He was teaching us along with some other instructors and also sharing some exciting new things that will be coming soon. And so he teaches online classes as well. You can find him on his page. And
we should be able to link to all of that, right?
Yes,
tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yep. But he also, I actually just took another class from him, and just so that I could get used to some of these new products that are coming from Pentart, and be able to share those with you guys. So we count our blessings. We're so fortunate to have him joining us. I'm excited, and I think that you will really appreciate his high level of knowledge and how he uses these products and how creative he is in how he uses them. So that's tomorrow. And then we pushing our Tim Holtz Tuesday to Tim Holtz Wednesday with Melanie. Melanie's coming from Canada. Melanie, my friend from the Painted Bench. So she will be here, and we're going to do a little Tim Holtz Tuesday, and I'll be working on some tags, and she's going to be working on some candle jars using some different techniques. So that'll be fun. Again, gift ideas. We're kind of focusing on, easy gift ideas that we can do. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a busy week, and my goodness, it's International Week at L&J Goods.
Yes.
Melanie from Canada, Vasilis from Greece.
Yes.
Come on.
Fantastic.
Isn't that great?
Fantastic.
Yeah. One of the ladies in the insider group, Meryl, actually is the one that suggested, it would be, it's so cool if you could get Vasilis to teach with you. And lo and behold, we made it happen. And then she mentioned in a comment today, if you're not in the insider group, you really should be there, because there's a lot of incredible creatives there with lots of inspiration, and they love sharing their projects there.
You can find a link. If you're not there already, you can find a link to the insider group in the description on YouTube, or it's the pinned comment on Facebook. And it's totally free. You just click on it, request to join. I'll approve your request, and you're in. Easy peasy.
And there you go. So, so what's really cool is then she said, she left a comment today saying, and who was it that decided or suggested this collaboration? It was me.
Yep.
And then she said, maybe the next one is Lynn Brundage or L&J Goods and Tim Holtz.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, make it happen. She's like, I'm going to reach out to him.
Yes, please.
Wouldn't that be fun?
So you'll be you're going to be doing what with him?
We are he's going to be showing us a really unique, it's a plastic ball. I don't know what else to tell you other than that, but the techniques that he will be sharing, you'll be able to use on anything. I don't have what Vasilis has, so I'm going to prep a few, I'm going to prep a bauble ornament, and maybe a little book box or something. So he's going to teach us how to do the mirror effects, which the Pentart mirror effect for plastic, and give us a really grungy finish to create a mirror effect on plastic.
Yes. So he'll be using the patina effect acrylic paint set and a new product called Mirror Mist. So I've just loaded those products onto our website in case anybody wanted to get a head start. Like if you're already ordering things today, I just added those to the website now. Mirror Mist, and then the patina effect paint set was already on our website, but I added some more inventory.
Yes. And the mirror effects are not a new product. It's just one that we have not carried.
To us.
Yeah, we haven't. I've used it. I just have never really carried it. So you'll find that on the website. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me get some clear water here. And I've just creased this all the way around with my fingernail. And now I'm just going to water cut this and tear it just outside that crease line that I made. So we can always come back in and touch up with our black paint. You could also just cut this for a really clean edge, but I didn't. I was just looking at this and thinking it would be pretty with a little like beaded trim around here too.
3 o'clock tomorrow. Hi, Royce. We were just talking about you today.
Hey, Royce. How's it going? Royce has got a great retreat coming up in April. If I'm not mistaken, Megan just gave me those dates today.
Not the bird ornaments video. It's a different one than that today, right, Mom?
Yes, it's a brand new one.
New video today besides the bird ornaments. Can you believe it? She's out of control.
Megan. Oh, that's funny.
Elaine wants to know. She says, I'm thinking about things to make for my booth for the winter season. Any fun ideas for what will be hot sellers this winter? Well, stick with us. I'm sure we'll be working on things.
I mean, I can't guarantee they'll be hot sellers, but we could sure get you some inspiration.
Mom's usually on the cutting edge, I would say.
Would you?
Of old.
The water
timey things.
The water cutting edge of old timey things. What does that mean?
I mean, you know what's good when it comes to what's old.
Okay. How's everybody's season been? Those of you that have booths and in, like a co-op situation. Just so curious how the season has been for you guys. It's always a nice, good time to reflect and either reflect with excitement or like, oh my gosh.
Hey, Paula.
What are we going to do?
This season has gone by very fast, I think.
It really has. It has indeed. Royce, in my latest YouTube video, I used one of Royce's decoupage papers for a beautiful piece in our cottage. And yeah, so that's cool.
Very cool. Yes, Royce's retreat is in April. It's looking very cool. Are you getting excited, or does it still feel really far away to you, Royce? Hey, Deborah. Hey, Paula.
Okay, let me lift this.
Melissa says lousy.
Oh, is that right, Melissa? Yeah, I'm just really curious how that's been for, DIYers. My decoupage medium du jour is Fusion's Decoupage and Transfer Gel, just because I had it out. So I love this one for applying thicker papers like our Monahan papers. But since I had it out, we're going to go ahead and use it with this rice paper.
Yeah, I was going to say, Royce, I bet it does feel like that. She said it feels like it's tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sure.
I get it.
Right? Yes. Right? Yeah, before you know it, like, it will be actually, like, oh my gosh, tomorrow.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Mary Jo said she had a great holiday season since getting into her new space. For Linda, the gingerbread cookies and houses were a hit.
Good. Yeah, I'm so curious, like, not only, like, what were the big sellers for you? What were people really latching on to? Okay, let's get this down.
Maggie did well in 2 large craft shows that she did. And some smaller
Oh,
vegetables
the craft
that she's
show
into.
days. The craft show days.
We were just talking about the next J Goods camp. Carla, we're not sure the date. Probably late spring, early summer.
Mm-hmm.
Although Mom has already figured out her projects, I think.
I have, and I'm excited. And I do want to give you a heads up about a retreat that we'll be announcing soon. I'll be going back to Ohio with my friends Devin and Sue, and we are going to be creating there. Usually theirs is like on a Monday, Tuesday, which is nice for those of you that do have shop space that you have to deal with. But that's going to be in March. I'm looking forward to that. Well, it's going to be a mixed media project. Not one that I've done before. And I don't have images yet, but I'm still working out some of the details of that.
Deborah said she's not decorating too much this year. She's just not in the mood, a little bit depressed.
Oh,
she
Deborah.
Absolutely loves your ideas and wish we lived closer. She'd love to shop at our store.
Oh,
Holidays
Deborah.
are not always a blast for everyone.
They are not.
They can make
really
it harder
not.
when it seems like everyone else is having so much fun.
And you wonder, like, how many people that are actually acting like they're having so much fun are actually faking it.
Also, how you can be like, how is everyone getting so much done?
So much.
I know, I'm just talking. I've just heard that people feel like that.
Asking for a friend.
Sometimes you wonder, like, why would someone ever have a baby 1 week before Christmas? What were they thinking? Even if they are such a precious baby and they're so glad they have him.
Yep. Yep.
She said, Neil and I will see you in Ohio.
Are you going to go?
Said, yes.
Oh, great.
Heather sold a lot of porch leaners this year.
Porch leaners. So they're still a thing, huh?
Royce hasn't even put up a tree, she said. I just finally put up a tree this weekend, Royce.
Royce, was it one of those little mini ones? I thought I saw one of your videos where you were going to be doing, like, little mini trees. And I just thought, that's a busy woman right there. I'm just kind of taking my brush with the decoupage medium on it and just creating a little ridge to straighten out that edge there. Might not be the ideal way, but you know, when we're trying to do something in a hurry, because we gotta be somewhere in 24 hours.
Deborah and Julie, where do you live? That we don't live, that we're so far away from you. Royce said Lynn calling out my repurposed video from last year.
Oh, was it last year? Well, hey, you know what? If it works last year, Royce, probably would work for you this year too.
Today's Melissa's baby's birthday. He's 37.
Oh, is this your baby that just got married?
Henry's going to be 13 on the 18th. I cannot believe it. That's it. No more babies in the house. The last one will be a teenager. And I'm telling you right now, he looks different in the morning than he does in the evening. That's how fast he's growing and changing. At that age, it's like crazy. It is. They change as much as they do when they're newborns.
Mm-hmm. I noticed last night, like, his face is like thinning out or something. It's just
he's changing. I just can't believe it. It's crazy. He's bigger than me and taller than me. That's been happening, but he's still, he's the baby of the family and it shows. We all say that.
So
And I
I'll
just
have a
can't
little
believe it.
touch up to do here later. You can see where I got sloppy with my paint job right here, but no, not to worry.
I don't think we would ever notice it, Mom.
Well, I would. And if I was giving this to somebody, yes, I would. But look how pretty that looks on there. Isn't that beautiful? That is a beautiful toile. Okay, so we'll put that aside to dry and then take a look at this little guy.
Mary Jo, you are killing it with these spun cotton pieces.
I know, Mary Jo.
I just love hearing about this. You are in a good groove.
They're so cute. I'm trying to talk Mary Jo into teaching us a little spun cotton something for Camp EJG next year for Christmas. I'm going to use this wreath.
And Julie's in Northern California. Okay, Wendy, we'll, as soon as we know a little bit more about Ohio, we'll post the information about that.
I'll be linking it in the insider group. I'll be linking it.
Well, now I'm going to want to go. If everyone's going.
It's like, no. Let's try these little
Never
cardinals.
said, I wonder how long it would take to get to your store from Davison, Michigan.
Well, where is Davison, Michigan? We could
find
probably
out.
tell you. Google that.
Mom's no stranger to Michigan.
I love Michigan. My husband's brother lives there. So I know there's probably a way that you can mathematically figure out where the middle of this is, but I'm not going to do that because why would I? I am just going to...
Looks like just about 5 hours away.
Hey, that's not bad.
Is your heat gun a hair dryer, Julie?
It is not. It's actually one of our Tim Holtz. Look at that. Heat guns. Yeah.
She said it's by Flint, Michigan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So you just cut straight across Canada.
Oh, yay. Debbie got her little people.
Oh, good. And because Fusion has that built-in top coat, as long as your transfer is really dry, or as long as your paint is really dry, it's easy to apply that transfer. They just stick right down. So you shouldn't have any kind of an issue.
Delroy said, Kimberly was a bonus baby number 4. The doctor said she couldn't conceive, but we were so grateful. We moved into the 1912 house in 1989 on December 15th, had Christmas, and had Kimberly December 28th.
Oh my
She's been the best blessing.
Oh. You see my little trick here? Because it is so hard for me to get down under my transfers. And so I just put a little piece of rolled tape around my finger, like sticky side out, and use that to pick up that backing sheet. I find that really useful, especially when we're going to do the gilded transfers here.
Heather said they visited from St. Clair Shores, Michigan, and that's how they came.
Yeah, yep. I remember, Heather. So honestly, you could keep this just as is, just with this simple little wintry wreath. Or you could add one of the little tinsel, like a tiny little word in there from the tinsel transfer.
Hey, Patrice.
Hi, Patrice.
She lent her Christmas tree to a friend in need whose parents are visiting.
Oh, Patrice.
Nice,
That
Patrice.
is so sweet.
You do need a passport to enter Canada, or I think an enhanced license.
Enhanced license, right.
Is everyone done with Christmas shopping? Annie wants to know. That's a no.
No.
Of course.
No. Haven't even started. Well, I take it back. I have...
Oh, you have started?
one gift purchase.
Oh, well, good for you. You don't have a long list, so that's good.
Well, it's, yeah, I know. And let's put this little cardinal, let's rest him right in there over that pine cone.
What about everyone else? It's the wrapping that I dread.
Oh gosh, the wrapping.
I don't even have like a lot of things.
You mean you just don't throw stuff into gift bags?
No, I feel like, especially my kids are very minimalist. So there's very little as there
So don't
is.
wrap at all.
No, but I just
No,
feel
wrapping
like
is
there's
fun.
something has to extend the experience in the morning.
Well,
if I were to just put it in bags, it would just be
Explain
over.
why. And I love this. I love that Megan does this. Well,
it's even been more minimal now. I mean, we've done always 4 gifts. I'm sure lots of you have done this too. Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. And it's really even become even more minimal than that because they don't literally want anything. They don't. So, typically they want to do something, have an experience of some kind together. So I will do like some jammies or sweats or whatever. And if there's something special that I can think of that they want or would be fun for them to do together, it's just really gotten simplified with the stuff. They don't want stuff.
Yeah. They've always been pretty easy that way, right?
Yes.
But
easy, but that also makes it
it does make it challenging, right?
Yes.
I'm using the Pentart 3D decor pen, and I just got to get my groove going here. This is self-leveling, so you drop a little drop, lift, and then it will kind of level out and make just a sweet little metallic bubble. But I just thought, oh, this is like just what this needs around the edge.
Roy says David does all of their shopping. He shops all year. He probably started shopping this year. I'm amazed by people like that. And that they can remember what they got. They can keep track. I'm just like in awe of that.
Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh. Who doesn't love just a tiny little dot of something? I love this. And so when my decor pen completely dries, I'll go over this whole thing. I'm going to use my Funkature Rock Hard on here. And that'll give this a nice waterproof seal. So let's talk about sealers and trays. And we get these questions all the time. Are they food safe? Okay. Any polyacrylic or polyurethane that you apply to a finish or a tray eventually will off gas, and it is completely food safe after the appropriate amount of time. You can always check with the manufacturer, but I mean, I would give it, at least a couple of weeks. But here's the other thing, in my humble opinion, if I have a beautiful tray like this, I am not going to just throw cookies on here. Like, I would rather get a pretty doily or go to the dollar store and just get a clear glass plate to put on here so you can still see the design underneath. And then you still have a protective coating so that, after the cookies are served, somebody could use this for a little candle tray and create a pretty little centerpiece. So any polyacrylic or polyurethane will be, and the same with the epoxy sealers like resins and pouring glazes, all of those. Once they have off-gassed and cured, you don't have to worry about them not being food safe. So,
oh, thank you, Sandy. That vest I was wearing is actually from a maker. She's a younger woman, and she makes them out of vintage quilts, and it's reversible.
It was really cute. So I'm just going to use my.
Royce is going to try some fine line crackle. She's going to watch your video.
Grrr.
Call us if you have questions.
Okay,
It's our most asked questions, I would say.
Yep. So I'm just going to try to line these up. And I'm kind of trying to judge the space here because I want to add another row. And so I'm trying to decide, how do I want this to be? I might just wing it. Once I get this on here, I'm trying to use what I have instead of opening another package. I've got 2 of them open. I probably have 3 of them open. And, oh, ooh, do I want that? Oh, that's pretty too. Okay, now I gotta figure this out. I like this with the bigger ones, maybe, and then I'll just add some little bits over here. So let me figure that out. Let me do that. I like that. And I'm just gonna crease with my fingers here. I don't have this out of the...
Tracy said, I've always loved wrapping. In my high school and college years, my mom would put everything in boxes and write out the tags and then leave them in a pile for me to wrap. Even wrapped my own presents on many occasions.
Aww.
Kat suggested I use heavy brown paper and duct tape, and that'll make the gift opening last longer.
There you go.
That's a great idea, Annie. For my 14-year-old niece who's so hard to buy for, I'm taking her to an all-day thrift shopping spree. She loves thrifting.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
wonderful.
how fun is that? So again, I'm just creasing with my finger. And then I'm going to trim right along that crease. And we'll come back in later to add into the sides. Whoops, I'm kind of going off grid here a little bit. But it's all right. Okay, so let me take this completely off.
Nina said, I just opened my piece of art I bought from you guys last week. It is stunning. It will fit perfectly in my new pantry that is still down to the studs.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Royce used to love wrapping. Now she's all about the gift bag with some tissue paper. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Let's get this in here. Of course, I don't have anything even, Steven, but it's all right. It's going to be fine. All right? It's all going to be just fine. It has so much pattern going on that, yeah, we don't need to worry about it. So I'm just going to press this into place. And let me show you the little trick to applying these transfers. I'm just going to start at one side. I'm going to start this and lift that corner. And then I'm going to work my way down by simply pressing and I'm just pressing where I'm lifting. So wherever this is lifted is where I'm pressing with my applicator. And I'm pressing as I pull it up at about a 45-degree angle. Now, will you get a little bit of extra gold? You might. That's okay, right? again, with a pattern like this, there's so much there that it can disguise a lot of our boo-boos. But I find that it's easier for me to just go slowly and press and release, lift. I'm kind of pressing and lifting at the same time, but see where my little tool is. And it literally just pulls it right off. And I would suggest, go ahead and there's so many little pieces, like practice. I practice so many times with these. I practiced on little tags. Then I moved to a little bit of a bigger piece. I'm holding this a little bit taut. And I'm just pressing to release that gold from the backing sheet. And I'll tell you, even with the tinsel gilded transfer from Christmas, I love that there's so many little pieces, little bits. So you can do a transfer on an ornament, you can do a painted ornament, and just add that tiny little bit and that little bit of gold, and it's so pretty. But it's a great way to practice using, just by cutting out one of those little pieces. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. And if you get a little bit of gold that doesn't, it kind of flips over on itself, it's okay. We got to be okay with it. We're not going for perfection here. We're going for an overall aesthetic. And people will be so dazzled by the fact that there's like literally looks like gold foil on here. They won't even notice if one of your letters is missing.
I love them too, Grace. They're really stunning. Sandy wants to know, does anyone follow a lovely young mom who does the coolest projects? I believe her name is Kayla. She got hacked and can't remember her Facebook page.
Oh,
She's adorable and so are her projects.
No.
Getting hacked is the pits.
And as I lift this, I can kind of see underneath. As I lift, I can see where that gold is. I can see through my transfer backing here, the carrier sheet. And I know there are some people that literally just press with their applicator over every little letter. Well, that's okay if you're doing one word, but oof. Then what I'll do is this tray I'll be finishing with the Funkature Gloss. IOD they're so beautifully detailed. I was really scared of these at first. And of course, I did not succeed the first time. I struggled a little bit until I kind of figured out and got a groove going and just felt my way through it, I guess. We all want like the inlays and these gilded to act just like, you know, the regular transfers, and they don't, because they're a totally different animal, you know. And I'm looking to see, I've still got, so just make sure you have good lighting and take your time. And again, if you're intimidated by this whole gilded transfer process, then by all means, just do a little piece at a time. But they make beautiful, like, backgrounds also. They're just additional layers. Oh, they're so cool. And then I'm going to, now that I've gotten, like, I'm going to kind of get to a certain point here.
Patty says she put a gold transfers on a princess house cloche, and it looks so good.
Oh. Yeah, these are great on glass. But all this little bit of type that's underneath, like all between these, is, I think it's just made to also fool the eye. And so that if you get a little bit of background, it's not a big deal, right? Because there's so much going on. But I do find that if I work to a certain point, it's easier for me to continue by just cutting that transfer away up to the point where I have applied it.
Oh, Delray got one of the new cards in her order with the color wheel.
Do you like it?
Augie and Mom designed those together. Isn't it exciting?
They're fun. And I just lift as I go.
Mary Lou put them on candles she poured for Christmas gifts for her friends, and they look amazing.
Oh my gosh. On the glass jar. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love that. I've never made a candle.
Roy says her mom used to sell Princess House crystals years ago, and she would love to find a cloche from them. I don't know what that is. I have to look it up.
It was like crystal, a lot of crystal. Right? If I'm not mistaken.
Julie says, I love Lynn's philosophy. I always say perfection is the enemy of the good. Happy mistakes often create my best pieces.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? These aren't produced on they're not on a big, long, printed assembly line type of a situation. Mm-hmm. You know, these are crafted with our hands. And, like, who's had enough of that mass-produced, imported stuff? I don't know. I'm just kind of over it myself.
It was lead crystal, Sharita says.
Lead crystal, yeah.
Just the leftover paper is pretty.
Yeah, and there are people that use that also to decoupage. I remember Sonnet did a really cool video when these were first released, and she fussy cut all around here and applied after she had done the transfer, she then fussy cut around this and applied it as a decoupage. And it was pretty. But I'm getting there. So this one is a little more of a process. But again, if you don't want to do a whole tray like this, think of just like somebody just mentioned. You put it on a glass candle jar or a cloche and or just add one little golden element to an ornament that you do. And here it comes. And I can see I'm rubbing off some of the gold from the background. But you know, when I do gold leaf, it's not perfect. You might get a little scatter of gold somewhere that you didn't expect it. I mean, if it really bothers you, you could go in there with a tiny detail brush and you could touch up. But I really don't think anybody's going to be looking that closely, especially when this is filled with cookies.
Very pretty, Mom.
Okay. This is your Christmas gift.
Oh. How nice, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does your arm hurt?
No, not at all. Nope.
Beautiful.
If I moved this, now I gotta get this back in place.
What's going on the third tray?
Hmm?
What's going on the third tray?
I already did them.
Oh, yes, that's right. Of course. Look at you. Right on time today.
Yeah?
Oh, you still have to do the pouring, please.
If I do it, yeah. I mean, I might just show it.
I feel like that would be
This would be pretty with pouring glaze over it.
Mhm.
Oh, let's do that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This would be cool crackled.
It would be. What do you think? Pouring glaze over? Yeah, I think I'll just put I'll do the funkature on that one and a gloss. Pouring glaze would be beautiful over this. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm going to get that all pressed right down, make sure that's all adhered. And then I do want to find a couple little snippets for over here. So I'll just go into some of my scraps and find something that would fit that I don't want to use on something else. So I'm thinking if I put that here, just gonna
Dangerous woman.
crease with my fingernail.
Last night we got to go to the a cappella concert at the St. Mary's Church in our town. Our high school a cappella concert does a performance there every year for Christmas. But it was very extra special this year because little Hattie is in a glee club with just a select few of the second graders.
So
and they sang 2 songs with the high school a cappella choir in the church, and it was so precious.
It was so sweet. And then
and so wonderful.
So in in the cottage video, I did do audio of the concert, so you may hear some of that performance.
Oh, really?
In my cottage tour video, because I mean they did that little like small town kind of it was just so cute.
It was precious. They had little miniature choir robes on.
Oh my gosh, it was adorable.
It was very sweet, and Hattie was very proud because we really filled 2 whole rows, and all of her big, giant boy cousins were there to watch her.
It was so cute.
She was very proud. It was very cool.
Well, I didn't want to actually do that. I wanted to come in from
all the music this week. I feel very lucky in our little town that we have such a great music program.
When is Henry and Levon's concert?
Well,
and Sophia and
there's
Oscar.
2, because it's the 7th and 8th grade concert is on Henry's birthday, and so that'll be junior high jazz band and junior high concert band, and then the next night is the symphonic band that Levon's in now, and then wind ensemble for Sophia, and Oscar's in chorus. Lots of music. It's very great. Little towns like ours, often the music program is like the first thing to go. So we're so lucky that our community really values it,
Mm-hmm.
and that we have such a robust music program here.
Which is tough for a small town in a poorer community.
Yes, a very poor community. Like I said, it's usually the first thing to go, and we really value it here, and it shows.
A lot of talented kids.
Yes.
And then, of course, the big surprise of the night, too, was the alumni of the a cappella choir was invited up to sing with the current a cappella group. And so we all sang what we've always sung for 40 years, Oh Holy Night, and all sang it together. And it was so cool.
More?
I don't need them right now, but it's good to know I have them. Thank you. Oh, Holy Night, it was beautiful. So my mom and Rebecca's sister Emily, and my brother would not get up and sing, and I'm not happy about it. And I hope next year he will, because my brother has a beautiful voice.
He has a beautiful voice. Yes, he does. All right, so there we are, you guys. I've got it on there. How are we doing time-wise here? I'm just going to burnish this. Look at how pretty. That's it from a pie crust table we got from Patty.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that now.
So I would use this pouring glaze. And since this has already been sealed completely with shellac, I feel confident that it's not going to bleed through.
Sharita's grandsons had their music program list Monday. One plays the drums and the other plays the baritone. Sophia, my niece, plays the baritone. Levon played baritone actually his first year in marching band. He's a true tuba player. That's his true love. But he can play the baritone and the bass trombone and the regular trombone because not all situations need a tuba.
That's right.
So sometimes you have to adapt. And Henry plays percussion and plays the drums too, Sharita. Everyone loves it on that black background,
It's
Mom.
so pretty. It's so pretty, right?
All it needs is a few flutes of champagne, Julie says.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. So I'm just going to pour. This is a pouring glaze. And so we're going to kind of guide it with a brush to make it go where we want it to go. What I want is this to have a nice even application.
Annie says definitely a caviar and champagne tray.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer's band and their town has been in the Rose Parade twice. Amazing. Love that.
I think, you know, music and band, those activities are so valuable. They're as valuable as sporting events and the chess club and all of them. They're,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, they're so important.
The arts, essential. Essential.
And I'll tell you, those kids love it. I mean, they don't want to, you know, they show up. Like, they show up for their rehearsals, and it's so neat.
I almost sometimes think, I think sports are important, of course. I think being a part of a team, all of that is so important. But in some ways, the arts are even more important. I really think there's just something for everyone there. Anyone can find a place to fit in there.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a really good point.
And in something like band, that really is a team. It is a team sport.
Of course. And they're very disciplined. Yes. And I'm going to try to get a little more out. You can also use, we have the Deco Art Triple Thick Glaze. That's another nice option to create a really shiny, glossy finish. Maybe you want to grab me one of those, Megan.
What am I looking for?
The Triple Thick Glaze. It's on the top shelf above the pen jar. So I just want to just continue to work this.
You want the jar or the bottle?
Either one. And so I can kind of let this settle in. Is
this on the site?
Mm-hmm.
I've been wondering what it was.
We want this to self-level, and okay, let's go ahead and add some right over this. This is the Triple Thick Glaze, which is another really nice option to give you a good shiny finish. I just love that we have so many options. I love it.
Paula says, I haven't had time to finish decorating yet. Hopefully on Friday I'll finish. We returned from northern Maine on Thursday. Managed to make 2 gingerbread houses with the grandkids. One in Ohio while we were there a week and a half ago, and one in Massachusetts last week. Tracy wants to know, would the Fusion pouring resin work?
Sure. Yep, you could use that as well. That's also an option. We have it all. So the glaze, we can kind of brush that on and then smooth that out. I used this on the swan. Oh, no, I used the pouring resin on here. But you'll just work with a soft brush. My little pea brain is already thinking about Easter and
oh my
spring
goodness.
and all of that stuff. Okay, and so yeah, we just smooth this out. You can add additional coats as you see fit.
Delray, yeah, we did lose home economics for a while in our high school, but and they were just doing it in our middle school, but they just brought it back actually.
They did?
Our high school. Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the kids really asked for it. They did like a survey, and that's one thing they said they really wanted to learn how to cook. And
I love that. That's so
please bring
good.
that back.
That is so good.
Delray wants to know, would you apply the pouring resin the same way?
You could. Mm-hmm. You mean the same way with the brush? So I'm just going to let this level itself, and then this one, I'm also letting it self-level. I'm kind of tipping and turning to make sure that I'm covering everything. And you can tell, like, maybe I need to add just a little bit more, like right here where I can see. And I'll move it around with my brush.
How many people in your town, Jennifer?
You want to see how it's creating those ridges there. That's what you don't want. That you want to make sure that you've got enough product on there moving so that it moves enough to like get rid of those ridges.
Sandy said, I've always said, quit building these huge flashy schools with atriums and flashy lobbies. Spend the money on classes for the students and let them make it beautiful. Art, murals, landscaping, all of it. It's a wonderful idea.
And here, see, I'm just using my brush now to, again, just move that product around. And it will kind of settle on its own. Oops, I got a little spot there that didn't catch. And then you want to make sure that this is in a dust-free area. Once you get it all completely even, you want to, what I usually do is like I'll cover it with a big like cookie sheet or something like that so that it doesn't get any particles, any dust or anything on it. The Fusion Pouring Glaze is going to give you, again, very similar effect, and but it comes in larger sizes, so you could actually use it for epoxy pours on furniture. Oh my gosh, remember years ago? You have that dresser, don't you, that I did?
Which one?
With the pink swirls? And,
Yes.
yeah, that was a cool piece.
Still is.
Still is cool.
How many people live in Medina, Mom?
I think
Like
including
6?
rural area, maybe about 6,000. And but it's you know, it's not just the village. It includes like the town of Shelby, the town of Ridgeway. And so there we go. And I'll just kind of clean up my edges a little bit. But it's already starting to. Wouldn't it be great if I had a little shaker, a vibrating, like JR uses those for concrete. There's got to be one for crafting and stuff, right? There's got to be.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
think.
that's a really big band for an area like that, Jennifer. We've had like in our little town, our town is small, like Mom said. I think like 6,000, and again, in a spread out area like that, and we've had like 150, and that was like a really big deal for us.
Okay, so, and that's going to dry completely transparent. And I'll keep checking on this to make sure that I don't have any areas where there's big ripples, like here. I want to like adjust that. So I'm just going to put my brush in there and kind of move that around, even it out a little bit. Okay, but that's what it's going to look like. Isn't that something? Oh my gosh, you can kind of see that effect even now, but again, you want to make sure you cover something over it, something that's not going to sink into your wet glaze, pouring glaze. And then this one is the Triple Thick by Deco Art. And then on this fella here, do we have a Funkature gloss? I think I have one open.
And he said 6,000. Oh my goodness, that was the size of the graduating class of my son's high school.
And here is our Funkature gloss. I do not want to apply this yet because this is still wet. So I'm going to let this dry completely. One of the ways that you can avoid having any clouding issues is to let your layers dry absolutely completely before you add any kind of a polyacrylic or a poly sealer over it, because what that does is going to trap that off-gassing underneath that poly layer. So you've got to make sure this is very, very, very dry before you apply your finish. And so I think that wraps it up. I think these are 3 incredible options for gifting. And seriously, each of them was thrifted or found. So a tray is always such a great thing because you can put something on it, but then it can be used later for, for candle display, for just like this would even be pretty hung on a wall with a little wreath in it. Like it would be so pretty. You can use them in so many ways. So thank you for hanging out with us. Tomorrow we'll be here with Vasilis at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Wednesday we'll have our friend Melanie here, and we're going to do Tim Holtz Tuesday. And I'll be doing some tags, and she'll be doing some candle jars, and we're just going to have a good old time. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you. Was there anything else I had to announce?
I don't know if you wanted to show that last sugar bowl that we accidentally
Oh,
didn't put
yes.
in inventory.
We have, so when we did our L&J Goods virtual open house, we actually had one of my assemblages, and I don't know how we got mixed up. It was marked sold out, but we do have this assemblage left. This is in an antique sugar bowl.
I can give a link.
Yep,
to
and Megan will link, but this is just very lightly glued in place, so you can pop this whole tree assemblage out and use this for something else. But
that's
we
it,
put
just
a bottle brush, this beautiful pink ribbon, a vintage glass bulb, and of course this antique ironstone sugar bowl. No top, but they make great utensil holders or vases or tree holders or whatever you want. But we do have that, and I wanted to make sure you were aware of that before I take it home to my house.
I felt bad. They said all sold out, and I had people asking me, and I don't remember who asked me. Quite a few people did, and I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. It's sold out." So Tim Holtz Tuesday is actually Wednesday this week because we're going live with Vasilis tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 3.
Okay, so just show up both days, and something cool will happen.
Yes, and don't forget, head over to YouTube if you're not already there. And watch our video that we dropped today with some cottage Christmas ideas and a little behind the scenes. So thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 Eastern Standard.